Hi, this is Tony Harris Taylor with the Drastic Results with Tony Harris Taylor Show. And today we have another episode talking about viral networking for drastic results. And my guest is Dr. Vanessa Danzine out of New York and Panama. She is half-time. So today she sits in Panama, which makes us international. Welcome, Dr. Vanessa.
Thank you. Welcome. Glad to be. It's a pleasure to be here with you again, Tony. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So you are one of the coaching clients who came through the Viral Networking Conference. In your own words, tell us, who are you and what do you do?
Well, I'm a retired detective in New York City Police Department. I'm an author, a speaker. I'm a weekly co-host on Keeping It Real with Shannon. I'm an associate editor, an entrepreneur, a community advocate, and a researcher. And my passion is financial literacy and building wealth.
Wonderful.
Oh, and I'm also an insurance producer. Let me not forget that.
Please don't forget that, because that's really the foundation of what you do. And you are very passionate about legacy building and generational wealth building. Why is that such a passion for you?
It's a passion for me because, over the time, I began to think about what's really going on, particularly in our Black and Brown community. And I had got an invitation to a friend of mine, a co-worker, a couple of years ago, to invite me to a platform, to support her. And while I supported her in that platform, I began to understand, yes, financial literacy is something that particularly our Black and Brown communities is missing. But I developed a passion of generational wealth, building generational wealth. It's just too many of our people living in generational debt, and it just focused on thriving to survive and not striving to get to the next level. So that became my passion, to bring that message to the community and the importance of building generational wealth. Now,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand that when you think outside the box, and you look at the things and the systems that are around you, and you think about the systems are working, how they are designed to work. So when you think about resources, the availability of resources, the accessibility of those resources, the sustainability of the resources, and the lack thereof. And this became my passion, is to bring the community to the table and bring them the knowledge that they need to leave a legacy.
So during our coaching, one of the big yes, that's it. Your market dominating position is to help regular people live their life like a business. And I get excited every time I say that. Look at your face, because when you said that, it just made me like, yes. So talk about that. What do regular people not know about living their life like a business? Just a couple things, because there's a plethora, I know.
Yes, like for instance, right? People don't know, like going to work every day, or going on trips, or going to dinner, that you can start living your life like a business. This is how the wealthy leverage their money. This is how the wealthy continue to build generational wealth and leave a legacy for their family. So listen, I travel a lot. I'm international, but now I don't travel for pleasure, using my own money. Or even when I did medical missions abroad, I used my own money. Now I travel for business. Anything I do now is for business, and that's how I live my life. So that's one of the strategies I want to bring to the table, to show people, listen, you can have fun and do things, but you got to learn how to get that money back. So it's really learning the rules of the game and then playing the game by their rules.
I love that. Yay. So what made you start networking? I mean, you actually are a retired police officer, and I know you have to network within the system to get things done. But what about networking outside and for your own business? What made you start networking?
Well, I got invited to your event, actually the NIA event, and I'm just getting an understanding to see what it is. And I began to understand and look at the benefits of networking. You're around a plethora of people doing great things, not just locally, but nationally, and sometimes even globally. and you can get to, is everybody always have a product or service that they can offer. Either they can offer it, if they can't use it directly, it becomes a referral system, right? So I begin to see the transparency within the network of how you can grow. You learn a lot of things, not just the referrals, but learn how people run their business, learn what makes their business move and what makes their business grow. So that's one of the benefits I've learned by joining your NIA networking group. And I'm really learning, and this is the way really to grow your business.
I love it. So you started networking by coming to the Viral Networking Conference, and it's changing the game for you.
Absolutely. This is definitely a game changer for me. Everybody think about running a business, but how do you run a business? How do you start the business? How do you make the business grow? What are the marketing techniques? Like, what do you do? Social media, all these things become a new framework for me to appreciate, to say, wow, I could do this. I could move this. I didn't think about a signature talk or engage in here and there. So it's a new phenomenon for me, but it's a good journey. And I'm looking to really grow my business in this capacity. Yes.
Awesome. So now when it comes to networking, there are so many emotions. People either love it or hate it. So where are you on the emotional networking meter?
Well, I would say I'm about a 5, since I'm still learning. And I give myself a 5 because I'm still learning, right? There's a plethora of knowledge in this space that is so rewarding, right? And I've learned to grasp the benefits and appreciate all the meat and potatoes that's come with networking. And I'm really excited. So I guess my emotion would be like excitement, eager, hunger for more. It's a hustle to get it done, but it's interesting. It brings me back to school in this capacity, in this space.
Awesome. Wonderful. So, and what's interesting, and I want to say this for the audience, is you were invited by someone I met in 2013. So 9 years ago.
Yes.
And she did not do business with me until now. And she brought you to the table. So sometimes with networking, and I will say it again and again, it's not instant. It doesn't automatically happen. But when it happens, look how it has flourished. Diane brought you to the table. You are here now. You're expanding your business. And so sometimes we have to be patient with the process. So very good. Excellent. So virtual networking since the pandemic, and in fact, I've never met you in person. I hope to meet you this year. Oh, well, we go into our retreat, so I will meet you. But virtual networking has become popular since the pandemic. So what tips can you share to maximize virtual networking?
Well, I understand that the pandemic left a lot of people destitute and they were home and out of work. And it became a tool for them to say, we got to do something. So like we always say, you got to do something for something, do you, right? So I would say people kind of need to get involved. They need to engage themselves in networking locally, even if it's nationally, even if it's globally, and to see how their business grow. There were a lot of entrepreneurs made during the pandemic, and that was a good thing because people began to understand how they can put their passion, their talent, what they normally do, whether it's like baking, nails, hair, tutoring, and they was able to make it monetary. So this is like, wow, this is a way they can expand. So I think they should really get engaged, find local groups, and nevertheless grow into the national industry.
Awesome. Awesome. So, you're retired. You have many talents. You're retired. You've got real estate. I've admired what you've already shared with me about your financial portfolio. And so congratulations, ma'am. You live what you teach. That is amazing. But being an entrepreneur is not easy, especially, and I just happen to know you've had a lot of life happen. It's like you signed up and life said, so what is your key driving force to staying an entrepreneur? Since really for you, it's not financial as much. So what's your key driving force?
Well, a lot of things I do, but I don't get a monetary benefit return on it. And that's okay because my thing is also to help and serve others. So
Mm.
being a pillar in my community, I look at the challenges, I see the struggles, the disparities, the barriers, the challenges, the lack of resources there, and people need help. So it's
Yes,
not all for me, it's not always about making the dollar, but making someone else make a dollar. And although you can't save the world, but if I can make a difference in one or two people's life, that's all that matters to me.
I love it. And you know what? When you approach your passion with that attitude, the money does come. So,
Yes.
tell me about a time you didn't want to show up. You pushed ahead, and you're glad you did.
Well, we know that there are life challenges, right? We're born, we live, we die with things that come across here. And you want to do the best and be the best. So not showing up your best could be detrimental to your business. So you don't want to compromise and jeopardize what you already made an effort to start, and you want to be able to keep it going. So that's
Absolutely.
important. Mhm.
Absolutely. Now, I know you push ahead when things are not, because, like I said, it's just been a challenge, one challenge after another. And sometimes that happens. But the win is in showing up, right? Because when we show up, especially when life is happening, it's like the world opens up to you. And at that moment, you can tune out what's going on so that you can be focused on your mission. So I commend you for pushing ahead, Vanessa. You've done an
Thank
excellent.
you.
So tell me, what are some of the challenges you have with networking?
Since I'm still new to networking and to understand all the dynamics and the things that goes with it, one of the challenges having was creating my story, right? Creating that timeline for the story, having a signature talk, and identifying who my target audience is and should be. Because everyone may need my service and product, but everyone may not be in a position to first acknowledge and talk about life insurance and death benefits and building generation conversations as that's the everyday table. But it's really to bring the people to the table in conversation so they can stop using GoFundMe as a life insurance policy. So it's the conversations we do. So it's really, those are my challenges across for people can really appreciate, what's needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about a time that networking made a big difference in your business.
Well, for one thing, I have understand in a short time the power of networking. Right, it gives me broader access to different audiences, and in these audiences which I have not even considered. So that's my journey right now with networking. I understand the power and the tools that come with it, and how I can get a broader reach of different
Aw-
audiences.
Awesome. So social media is a form of networking. How has social media helped you to grow your business?
Well, social media definitely. Well, actually, through networking, particularly through your NIA, I have had the opportunity to reach out to some other clients of yours that had a VA connection, and I was able to reach out to them, and it was able to now manage my social media portfolios, connect me to groups, and we have a direct target to my audience.
I
So
love.
that's that's a work in progress, but when we get in there, we get in there.
Oh, very good. So, what I love is my community supports each other. And when you see that there's someone in the network you can use, that you are using them. And yes, your social media is growing and it is a work in progress. But guess what, Vanessa? It always is. I've been using social media for 12 years and it's still a work in progress. So keep plugging at it. So,
Yes, yes.
what mistakes have you seen entrepreneurs make when it comes to networking?
Well, I see that they're not being prepared, right?
Mm,
Not knowing how to market their product or service, and just not knowing the benefits of networking. They just not in the know.
mhm.
Basically,
Yep. And
you know.
so get yourself in the know. Hire a
Yes.
coach. I remember when I first started networking, I hated it too because I was passing out cards waiting for the phone to ring. And that was not happening. And so once I learned the strategies to network, that it wasn't about selling, that it was about connecting, and that I needed to get people on my calendar immediately, it changed the game. And so I know you're practicing the scheduling the appointment right away and all of that. And it takes courage and it's drastic to do it. But I believe that you're coming along. And I just, again, appreciate that you are willing to be drastic and try whatever I ask you to try. And that's all a coach can ask for. All right. So in your mind, what does it mean to show up?
It means to be ready so you don't have to get ready.
I love that. Can you define that a little bit more?
When you go places, you want to be prepared because you don't know what connections you're going to make. You're not sure, what your business can go to the next level, who can see something, who can recognize you. And you just got to be prepared to just take that leap of faith and just keep it moving and you don't want to turn down the connection, and you don't want to be disappointed when someone confronts you pertaining to your product or service. So you got to be ready so you don't have to get ready.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. So what's your best strategy so far for following up?
I think I would say be persistent, be intentional to what you do, hone and own what you can provide and stay connected.
Right. Very good. And then you're in the infancy stages, but can you describe how your networking has gone a little bit viral?
Well, like I shared earlier, having a VA, and I've seen my social media logos have changed, my more connections, more people viewing my page, liking my page, became accepting more friends. So I'm really just getting in tune to really get out there to let people know who I am. So when we went over the analytics, I could see how many people has visited my page, has liked the page, is really looking into my service. So that's how it has grown thus far.
I love it. I love it. All right. So what's your favorite quote around networking and connecting?
Well, as it relates to my passion of building generational wealth and insurance, I would say my favorite quote is, if you pay now, then you can play later. But if you play now, you will pay later.
Exactly. Drop the mic. That is excellent. Right? I love it. You pay now, you can play later. If you play now, you will pay later.
Absolutely.
I got it. Right? So what final thoughts would you offer entrepreneurs who are hesitant to network?
Well, if you don't know what you don't know, so in order to get in and know, you have to be engaged. Engage yourself. I know it's a struggle, it's a challenge. People's not really accustomed to being outside their skin, but you just have to jump in that lion's den and get in there and engage. Just go for it.
Yay. So how can people reach you if they want to learn how to live their life like a business?
Okay, you can reach me on my two websites at Dr. Vanessa, the middle initial V, Danzine, that's DEDANZINE.org, or you can reach me at my insurance site at insuranceplanners.co. That's insuranceplanners.co, or you can feel free to call me at 833-44-LEGACY. That's 833-44-LEGACY.
So how can people get in contact with you if they want to live their life like a business?
Sure, you can reach me at one of the two websites at Dr. Vanessa V, middle initial, and Danzine. That's DEDANZINE.org, or feel free to link up on my insurance website at legacyinsuranceplanners.co, or feel free to call me at 833-44-LEGACY. That's 833-44-LEGACY.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vanessa. I sure appreciate you. You're amazing. And you just keep pushing, keep showing up, keep following up, and you are going to blow up. This is
Absolutely.
Tony Harris Taylor with Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. Bye.
All right. Thank you.